Thank you, everyone. And special thanks to the panel members for making this happen.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
While I was preparing for this panel, as usual, I did a chat GPT Google thing on the business mega trends, which we all do while preparing for any report or something. And the first thing it cropped up is the rise of the Gen AI. So it's all about self-promotion,
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
So interestingly, I was going through the profiles and, cloud computing is something that businesses are talking about right now, and a lot of businesses are taking to cloud computing. If I can begin with you, in terms of how do you think cloud computing can be made more sustainable? And also the fact that, there are also fears that, as the technology advances, customers may need to upgrade again and again. And that's a fear that I'm pretty sure a lot of your customers would be airing to you. So how do you sort of react to that?
So thanks, Sudipto. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah. Perfectly fine.
So number one, cloud, the basic nature of the cloud is it's a scalable platform. So when you do anything that is on-prem, you need to constantly upgrade it again and again. But the moment you go on cloud, you don't have to really do the upgrades because cloud by nature can be scalable. So that is very well taken care of that. Other thing that you spoke about sustainability, yes. Now, you cannot imagine a world without the cloud now, right? So it's not the same cloud as we have always learned, the cloud that brings rains. It's basically the cloud that brings lives now. How we make, I'll talk about our organization, how we make this whole technology more sustainable is this, apart from airlines and other industries, this is one of the other industry which is energy intensive. But we invest heavily into the green data centers. So while we currently work at over 17 data centers, out of that, 5 data centers are now green data centers, which means they are using most of the sustainable energy to run the power consumptions. Second, any cloud computing company is at the core of sustainability because nowadays, if you see, you don't receive paper invoices. And if you don't have paper invoices, that means you're helping the world become more sustainable. So we ourselves invest heavily into paperless technology, doing things, automation. So that involves a large part of the question, how cloud computing industry has been helping the world become more sustainable.
No, I'm tempted to ask you this. There's also the issue about power, power consumption by the data centers.
So how do now the GPUs that are, So one way is to, how data centers cope up with this is to make more of use of the, natural resources, energy from the natural sources. So these days, as the world is moving towards sustainability, and that is again the most talked about thing, more and more data centers are employing, technology which is towards the greener aspect. So these, we call them green data centers, where using the better cooling tech, we are able to reduce down the power consumption on these. So that's one of those things that helps reduce the power consumption.
Thank you. Abhishek, if I can come to you, you have an interesting, you have stayed in Silicon Valley, worked there, you came back to India to do, interestingly, in terms of digital transformation as it has happened, a lot of companies, as they go down that path of digital transformation, they are faced with challenges of, adaptation of new technologies, like be it AI or blockchain or IoT. So how do you sort of overcome that? Do you find some sort of a resistance to it? How do you sort of build that resilience that you are able to take these new technologies forward?
So first of all, thank you. Thanks for having me. So, if you typically look at digital transformation, right? So what happens is, anytime you try to impose, so in the name of technology or whatever, right? So there is always a resistance from people. So one thing which I have seen, the best way for technology adoption, you have to look at it how it can enable your business and take it to the next level. Now, if you see whether it is AI, it's all over the place in last few years. We have IoT, as you pointed out, and if you see, there are different use cases around it. Like, I'll just talk about AI. If you see, it's not AI in itself which is going to change the world, it's how you use it. So, like, for some of the companies that we have been helping is around automation, right? So, he just mentioned invoice, but if you typically see the process, there is always someone who is there when the invoice comes in to put it into your ERP system, whether it is SAP or whatever it is, right? Imagine having an AI agent do that, right? So enabling that you typically are able to save tons of manpower. Like one of the companies that we helped, they had around 200,000 invoices a year with 30,000, spending around 30,000 man hours and a straight saving of 95%, right? So now, if you see, it's always how efficiently you can bring in the right use case without disrupting the way people are used to doing things. And that is when your digital transformation journey is a success. And that is where anytime I talk to a client, I always say that, yes, we should really look at that change management should not act as a hindrance. Because that is when, by humans we are rigid. As a nature, we are always rigid. Anytime there is a change, we are scared, right? So, and the anxiety comes in. So, it's just feeding those small gaps and taking it as a journey, a stage-wise journey is what helps.
Interesting. If I can come to you, in terms of, I think you were one of the youngest cyber experts in the country.
Yes.
A big hand for that.
Thank you so much.
And I know cyber threats are something which you're all living through. We have been, but tell me, like, in terms of the infrastructure currently that we have, be it from the business side or from the way we use our mobile phones and our own systems, computer systems, IT systems, how robust are our current systems, Where are we? Could you give us a sense of the robustness of our current systems?
First of all, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here, and I feel it's a privilege to be sitting with all of you, such visionary leaders and businesses from all across India. So, coming to how we are in terms of cyber infrastructure in terms of India, I would say digital transformation is no longer an option. It is a necessity for today for every businesses. So be it from automation till AI, every business is trying to use it in order to grow rapidly or to give better customer experience and all. So when you talk in terms of infrastructure of I would say mitigating threats and all, I still feel there's a huge gap in terms of businesses, in terms of even the government, where we still are far behind compared to the other nations all across the world. The reason is because the lack of awareness, which most of the people are not still aware of. So that is one thing which we have to fill in the gap, because unfortunately, if you see out of every 10 people, at least 2-3 cyber victims is what we see in today's world. And when we try to, because I work with the law enforcement agencies as well, so when we try to combat the threats and when we try to catch the criminals as well, we found out that these people are highly skilled unemployed youth who are turning as cyber criminals.
Okay.
So that's how it is. So there's a huge gap between what we see. So I think, of course, thanks to our Prime Minister, who is still putting a lot of efforts in terms of creating government-based organizations where we are bringing out cyber awareness, building digital infrastructure, kind of a digital army, I would say, in a positive way, which is actually helping out businesses businesses or the people to overcome this cyber threats. As Abhishek was mentioning, it takes time. We need to put it layer by layer in order to, it's not something which is done overnight. Because we, typical Indians, we realize when something is done to us, then we realize that it is done. When somebody comes and says you secure, nobody will listen to us.
Yeah.
Even in my case, when I said when I was in childhood, I said I'll become a hacker. My parents are like, you wanted to go to jail. But now today, if I say cybersecurity expert, people are giving us respect. So it's the common notation what we are coming through. So that's how it is. Even in terms of infrastructure, of course, compared to the other countries, we are still far behind. But yeah, government is putting very good efforts since last 10 years, I would say. Trying to overcome the challenges. As you know, yeah, we have a lot of challenges in terms of technology and all, but of course we are trying to adapt it as much as possible. And even everybody of us uses UPI, which is something in-house technology. Of course, even that is being misused, yeah, but we are trying to develop more critical infrastructure.
Interestingly, this issue of cyber arrest, and we are coming to the examples of every second day there are news reports
digital
around
arrest.
Digital arrests, How do you react to that? When you see those, do you feel sad when you see that? It's totally a...
No, if you give me 2 minutes, I'll just tell you a
Sure.
small example. It was back in 2019, so when I was dealing a case with the government of Andhra Pradesh. So usually parents try to find out, matches on matrimonial sites. So there was a software engineer, a woman whom, their parents wanted to get married, girl basically. So they put the profile in matrimonial site and they have seen a match. Everything went well, so they did an engagement virtually because the boy is in Turkey. He's a surgeon, I believe. He's a doctor, he's a surgeon in Istanbul. So he said he can't come down for the engagement, so why don't we do it online? And it was all done. And the parents of the boys visited the girl's home. They have done all the formalities, took some money and all for the arrangements. Everything is done. So it was on the day of it. I would say wedding was scheduled in 10 days and he was supposed to come today. So he didn't turn up. So after a day, the girl got a call from unknown WhatsApp number, and when she picked up, it was the boy telling that because we only marry once, I've got all the brands, Louis Vuitton, Gucci and everything for you, lot of shopping from Istanbul, due to which the customs have stopped me. So the girl unfortunately believed it, and then she asked, what is that I need to do? So this person was telling that we have to pay some custom tax, which is close to 10 lakh rupees. Then the girl was so truly in love with him because she's getting married to him. She said, we don't have 10 lakhs, I have 5 lakhs which I saved for my wedding. So then he said, you transfer it. Once I come, all the money is ours, so I'll give you the money. I don't have an Indian rupees. So he gave a bank account number and she transferred it. It's done. She was expecting him the next day. So he didn't again turn up. So in this process, 3-4 days of mental kind of social engineering, we call in terms of security, where they try to trick the person. So in 3-4 days of time, he almost took 30 lakh rupees from her. So she has transferred 5 lakh of her savings, and we have Insta loans in banks for good profiles. So Insta loan, then she borrowed some money from friends and family, some of the money from their from the gold which she was about to use it for wedding. So at the end of 4-5 days, when she started, getting a doubt, why is he not coming? And, parents got feared. When they came to the cybercrime and when we started, I was personally asked to, look into the case. So when we tried digging and everything, we found out that it's all a kind of VFX which the person used, and he is based out of Rajasthan. So by the time nahi hua. So what happened, so we only have one clue. He was using virtual numbers and everything. We only had one clue, the bank account number. So of course we have a lot of jurisdiction issues and all, but still we took it as a challenge and we took all the special permissions and we reached out until the bank is, I think it was somewhere in Rajasthan. So we reached out till there. Once we reached out, we found out that belonged to a daily wage laborer. So where a person has come to him, he tells that you'll have some money, I'll give you 2 lakhs, whatever the money comes in, the rest you have to give it to me, and that's how he took the money and went away. So when all this incident came to, when we all found out that this is what has happened to the girl, and she attempted suicide. So luckily we were able to save her at the last minute, but of course the parents, they couldn't, take all this, they have sold or whatever their house, everything to repay off the loans, and they left the town. So this is something, even we being today, even today also, there are a lot of people who are losing hundreds of crores. I repeat, hundreds of crores, not lakh crores, crores of rupees, and most of them are actually people who are into education or businesses or high-profile jobs, because people will be always busy, and at that point, these attackers call, these criminals call, and try to use that minute to provoking us to take that wrong decision, where we end up losing money. That's the absolute fact which is happening outside.
Amazing. Natasha, I can come to you,
I want to give one message out to women first.
yes.
Make your own money and buy your own Gucci. Don't depend on husband and fiancés, okay? First of all.
Big hand for that. Actually, your company is actually it fits the bill for our Outlook planet.
I thought I was a misfit here.
No, Outlook planet. I'm totally with you on that.
Am I the woman vote here?
Tell me one thing, you're a product of as a direct-to-consumer company, you are a product of technology in the sense, the way you reach the consumer. What has been your lesson in terms of how technology has impacted your business, and has there been any pivots in your journey over the years?
So, I'm not sure if anyone knows, but Soulflower is basically India's first farm-to-face natural beauty brand. And we are India's #1 seller of rosemary essential oil. We are the people who introduced it. A lot of gentlemen here could be my customers, actually. So, technology, while these gentlemen are actually making the technology, I think a lot of them, I think women are always smarter than men. I'm using the technology to my benefit and also to my customers' benefit, I would like to say. So Soulflower was basically started, and my earliest memory is when I was 5 years old. I love animals, by the way. Soulflower is made for animals. And it was always about winning their trust. So I would be under a car, or I would be somewhere in a corner, and I spend my whole summers trying to get this little injured animal to trust you. And when they're injured, they never trust you. I'll be 5 days, I'm sitting with a bowl of milk, and I'm trying to win the trust of this little animal. So Soulflower has been set up to kind of speak for everything that cannot speak. It can be your skin, it can be your hair, it could be animals. And I am using AI to make the customer who cannot speak to me directly, I am using AI to understand what they're trying to say. Okay. This is the simplest way I can tell you. My journey has changed over the years. We started as an aromatherapy brand. In COVID, we had to shut down all our stores. And at that time, we kind of realized that, before this, my customer was like 40 years old. I'm just giving you an example. It used to be like 35, 40 people who walk into a shopper stop or something like that, or into a mall. After COVID, we kind of realized, and this is how AI helped me, that there is a lot of young people who are coming to my website, to my Instagram account, and reaching out. And so why are these young guys coming, right? Young kids shouldn't really need anything of hair or skin or things like that. And what are they searching for? They're looking for oils for growth. And these are all the kind of keywords that we would get, not just from our social listening, but also from partners like Amazon and Flipkart and all these kind of things. So we kind of realized that the customer is looking for something that doesn't exist. They are facing a problem. Nobody's really realized it. COVID has caused a lot of changes in people. People are losing a lot of hair. A lot of young people who are 18, 20, 34 don't have hair, or they've got gray hair, and they don't have a solution. So this is what AI actually helped us do. We kind of identified the problem, and now we've kind of work on it every time. We keep identifying new problems and speaking to the customer. This customer is looking for something, I'm actually answering it.
Interesting.
The second, so it's basically increasing, it's improving my customer's experience, as he was saying, and it's also increasing the D2C, the whole journey. They can find their products faster. The other thing that AI has actually helped us is that we are a farm-to-face brand. So we grow our own ingredients. What I realize in India, kuch bhi bikta hai. Label padne ka to, I don't think my parents ever read a label in their life. At least nowadays, people talk about reading the label. I always read, when I hire a person, I read their resume upside down. I read what their hobbies are, and then I go to the education. So I think when you buy a product, you should read it upside down. You read the label first, and then you see the name of the product and see which celebrity is endorsing it, wo baad mein dekhne ka. So AI has helped us. So when you kind of scan, what we're working on is a blockchain traceability. When you scan a product, you will actually come to know, okay, this ingredient is from which farm in India. Because we work with a lot of farmers, and you will actually realize that, okay, in Rajasthan there is, no, not Rajasthan, sorry. Kerala mein ya Gujarat mein ya somewhere there is this one little farmer who is working, and the whole idea is to actually kind of put this whole network. So my products sell in 7 countries. somebody sitting in the US, somebody sitting in Japan can actually look at the farmer who's actually grown the ingredient that has got into the Soulflower product that he's using. How amazing is that? How amazing is tech?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ravish, we can come to you. You know, you are in a business where AI is definitely going to have an impact, and I'm pretty sure you're using AI in your day-to-day operations also. Could you give us a sense of the landscape, in terms of how AI is going to impact you, and what are the lessons that you think that Indian businesses could sort of, going forward, could pick up from there?
That's a very interesting question. So, at our company, we are at the core of, providing AI to people, because when you want to deploy any sort of AI engines, you have to use the GPUs. So we are one of those pioneers in India who have been, working with NVIDIA to deploy their GPU servers. So the landscape overall is very exciting. Like when 15 years back, when you started looking at how mobile is going to change your, day-to-day life, and I think everybody would agree to it. Now, most of us are using AI in some or the other form today. Our business, we started using AI to build, not only train our people, but also to build a knowledge base, which is now responding to customer queries.
Okay.
In fact, if you have been to LinkedIn, you would have seen that there was an AI bot which spoke to an investor and was able to secure an investment. So it was not a human, it was an AI bot which pitched to the investor and spoke in a very, very natural conversation and was able to get the funding also. So what we have started doing is we have started investing a lot in AI. Today, our customer service is largely driven by AI. We are able to personalize the answers as per the previous historic data of the customer. We are able to give instant answers to them because now AI can generate that these are the usual issues or with the particular cloud, particular instance of the customer. So that has been helping us becoming more productive, more efficient, and that's also reducing the manpower, because while you used to have a lot many people to provide support and round the clock 24/7 assistance, now it's the bots that are able to, we can build an automation chain on what to do next when something is happening on one of the instance on one of the cloud that we are working on.
Interesting. Abhishek, in terms of, I'm pretty sure you'd be coming across cases where, of course, technology is changing business processes. Also, the fact that the business models are under a lot of strain, the old business models. So how do companies balance that, Because when the business models are being changed and being threatened from new technological advancements, how do you balance that?
So I think the first is whatever industry we are in, right? So if you look at manufacturing, the impact on manufacturing is going to be different versus if you are running, let's say, a marketing company or you are a content company and all that, right? So if you are in a research field. So we have to first understand where the change in technology is going to help, right? So that's the first thing that obviously things are changing fast. So very simply, if you see back in the day when like 25 years ago, if you see a change if you see the change from 2-tier to 3-tier happened in a decade or more, right? Now, that change that would actually take a decade in old days is happening in less than a month. So change is happening very, very fast. So we have to see what technology actually can help me and bring in that change and have a roadmap around it, right? So roadmap should obviously include the journey, the adoption journey. Secondly, how I'll keep up with it. So a build versus buy decision. And then doing it. Now, if you see the business model changing, I'll just take example of trucking. If you actually look at earlier, it was your truck is going from point A to B, but you had literally no visibility where it is, But now with the whole IoT, you will literally know where your truck is, and not just that, within the country, if you have a satellite-based solution, you can know across. So it's not just truck; it's also the container, if as well, right? So the model in which the business is changing is where you should see that yes, understand what is happening in the market, but at the same time, what your ROI is going to be. So when we look at because end of the day, it's not about being excited about the technology, it's about what's the best use of the resources you have to get the best outcome. And then planning that journey and having that stage-wise mindset. Also at the same time, if you are planning to do it, you should definitely plan to invest for someone internal who has that knowledge, at the same time have the right technology partner. So that is very important, because if you miss any one of the two, then either you will miss out on certain things on the business, or you will miss out that something is done but it doesn't fit your business need. So that is how anytime we work with clients, we always suggest that yes, combining the two and looking at it more, having a more holistic approach is what I would say.
Interesting. Prameel, in terms of use of AI, you see cybersecurity using AI much more now, and even businesses using AI in cybersecurity?
Yes.
Going
it has
forward?
already, even cybersecurity is even combined with AI right now. Because in my view, I would say that data is something called as a new currency right now, because everything is driven by data. It might be any business, it might be a simple thing, a marketing thing, or if you wanted to grow your business, if you wanted to attract customers, everything, it's basically data analytics driven. So as we wanted to understand a lot of data, how customers wanted to look at it, or how do you wanted to create a solution, everything, for that we need AI to be there in terms of cybersecurity, where it does the initial job of trying to understand and tell us what exactly the solution we are looking forward. And thankfully, most of the companies, I would say, have already incorporated this cybersecurity with AI right now. And I'm looking forward to see quantum, computing future in terms of AI and cybersecurity in near future.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Natasha, I'm tempted to ask you this. You work with farmers, at the ground level. You use technology extensively. How do you sort of bridge that balance in terms of getting the farmers to also understand that, the power of technology, also using technology is there, you see a human issue here somewhere?
So I think there's no one here who will say that, the younger kids and all the people on the ground are the fastest always to adopt any technology. A mobile le lo. So our people at our farm have got their mobile. They send us pictures all the time. I am getting pictures every single day. What is growing on the farm, what is happening. They just click and they WhatsApp. We send them WhatsApp back. In fact, you won't even believe the ones that cannot speak English. I don't know how they're doing this, but they're sending me English messages. I think it's through AI. So this is the amazing part of kind of adapting to things, and you spoke about adaptability. I think sustainability is very important, and you cannot sustain if you don't adapt.
Absolutely.
So Indians are always known to be jugadu, right? We always adapt to everything. Mobile phone kisne aur banaya? Indians didn't make it, but we are the largest users of it.
Absolutely.
So this is how it happens. The only thing what I want to say about technology and AI is that rather than having AI do the things that we love doing, we should let AI do the operational things and kind of uplift. I think it's a great chance for Indians to uplift, because most of our category of workers are the white collar ones, the blue collar ones. Upskill them and let AI do all those kind of operational tasks like calling people and all those kind of things that were very boring and mechanical. And we can really upgrade these people, like the tribals. Let them do something better. Let them do something जिसमें actually दिमाग लगाना पड़ता है, and AI can't do that for you. So this is what I look at AI to uplift the people that I work with, the tribals that we work with, make them better equipped to do better things.
Interesting. Any last thoughts in terms of on the same point, a very interesting point, like how do you sort of make your workforce or your employees up to date. I'm pretty sure there will be resistance coming from some quarters. Also, the spotlight would be shifting. People will, with industrial experiences of 30 years, might be feeling that a 25-year-old is, hogging the limelight. So, how do you manage those internal issues?
So are you referring to the AI thing?
Yeah, especially with the use of technology coming in and use
So
of.
I'll probably resonate with her. When you look at how kids and the younger generation और इंडियन जो इतने जुगाड़ू होते हैं, अगर आप व्हाट्सएप का यूसेज देखोगे, व्हाट्सएप कम्युनिकेशन के लिए बनाया गया था. हमारे यहाँ पूरी एक फोर्स हो गई उसमें that we totally removed the concept of WhatsApp and we started using it as a sort of training mechanism and then business. In my industry, we saw that till 2015-16, there was a surge of how people were going for websites and hosting and booking domains. And then suddenly you see that that whole concept is falling because all the SMEs and especially micro SMEs, they were using WhatsApp to start doing business. अपने चीजें उसी पे डाल रहे हैं और वहीं से business हो रहा है. That's where the whole concept of things change. Now to address this question, well, I believe everybody has to adapt. That's the most important aspect. Eventually, even the people who are older in the industry, they learn that technology is simplifying things for them. If you see who are the biggest user of WhatsApp in India, they're going to be your parents. Now they are forwarding things. They're doing satsang also. So eventually, they catch up. They catch up. Even in the organizations, people who are resistant at earlier stage, when you start giving them trainings and tell them that how it is making things easier for them, that's how it happens. At our organization, we are simply looking at, completely removing our first chain of salespeople in the coming future and replace it with the AI bots, AI agents, who are going to do the lead generation entirely in a conversational form. They are going to call customers, prospects, and do this entire thing and then put it into the CRM. Now, when you share this with your senior teams, basically humans are looking for comfort. So when you show them how it works for them, then that's how eventually they start adopting this. So
I'll just add to it.
Sure.
Typically, if you see adoption, a resistance to adoption happens when you have anxiety. Right?
Exactly.
The fear of unknown. So basically, the training and removing that anxiety, right? When it's not an unknown territory, the adoption is quick. That's exactly what happened to, like WhatsApp example that he was saying. We knew, okay, it was just so easy for anybody, a fifth grader, to use it, that everybody adopted, right? Now AI, if you see, it's obviously there is the fear of unknown, that what will it do? Will it take jobs? So really showcasing the real side of it, the benefit, is what has helped us. We are using it in different forms. So we are an engineering company. We build softwares. We have built multiple SaaS platforms. So now we are using it at different levels. So right from the core coding part to testing to even a lot of documentation. So there are different, and there are several trainings that we run. So it's all around like how you actually equip the people with the right skills, so they are not venturing into that unknown territory. So similarly, like we did certain work for a manufacturing company in the AI domain. The business group we were working with, they actually were very apprehensive to it. So we had certain sessions on telling them the benefits it will bring in. So it's more around having a more, I would say, rather than saying we are going to do this, bringing the knowledge of change, right? What value it will bring in, how it will be done, and that is when the adoption increases. And we are definitely one of the largest users when it comes to internet, to a lot of, just because of obviously the population we have to the age group we have. So I think there is no second thought that yes, as things change, we'll still be at the top of the curve.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. We could have gone on and on, but of course, as you can see, time's up, and but of course, we can go on. But
So one
thank you,
last concluding
please.
remark.
Okay.
So adding to Natasha's point, so yeah, AI, I think as she has said, we should be limiting it to automate the core mechanical low-level skill. I mean, upskill them, as well as, of course, when we are using it in terms of our business, it is always advisable not to share our important information, because they are again being, as I've said, data-driven analytics. So they're again reused to build a bigger model, probably, which might again overcome a human brain in future. So I would recommend all the people over here who are using any chat GPT or Copilot or any kind of thing not to ever share your confidential information, because that's where AI gets the actual information to process it, to give it indirectly to our competitors as well. So of course, technology is very good. It is the backbone of what we see in today's life. But using it in a limited way, as understanding it in using is the key point here.
Great. I think that's a good warning note to end the discussion on.
There's just one more thing what I want to say
Sure.
is that how could AI help MSMEs? Because we have very limited resources for marketing, for upskilling, for anything. MSMEs are always very tight. Our working capital
Exactly.
is always a very tiny circle. So how could AI help us, and not just big giants, to actually scale? I think that is a thought I would like to put out.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for this engaging conversation.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.